Good day, perceptive readers. This is a James PoeArtistry consultant moment. I want to ask you, what did you think about today's website's presentation? The James PoeArtistry Productions, the domain, pockbooks.com. What did you think about it? It started early Monday morning, where I had 3 pages about main pages that I've highlighted. Okay, the Sage headquarters, and then also the Hip Rock Monday, and also in between there, no, let me say there was 4 pages. I also had Why Do You Believe page that started off, so to speak, and then the More Than Science technology page as well. Okay. On each one of those pages, I think you will enjoy whatever was shown, whether it was in the writings, to the video presentations. I've already mentioned the new Star Trek new season that they have off on Paramount, the Paramount Pictures or the studios. And I'm glad, even though there were already some spoilers that were out there. I think I told you before, I think you're very much aware that if there is something that I really want to watch or what have you, I leave spoilers alone. I think you've learned that over the years, that I try my best to leave them alone. And so that first episode, I appreciated the theme, the newness to it, the writing, the acting. Yes, they did a great job with that. So the thing that I would encourage you on as well, which you may be already too late, you may have already seen it, or you may have watched the spoilers. And the reason why, I always mention about spoilers, because sometimes spoilers can go into so much of the story that then you may not watch it at all, because you may feel like you already got the cliff notes, the cliff notes on it. But no, but I'm here to tell you, sometimes, even with the spoilers, I will say, do not always give the proper outlook, the proper justice that the film or the series, would need or should be, looked forward to. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I just leave spoilers alone. That's just me. But either way, it was such, like I said, a nice start of a new season, you see, of Star Trek, and a newness, and, going into a series there, that I actually placed it in the sidebar area under the Sage Town's visit. And so, I don't put that in the sidebar too often, the Sage Town's visit, but it's in there right now. And so I have there for the rest of the day. It'll probably be there, overnight as well. I want you to know. Along with that, there was a new poem. And the poem is basically, what is, a policeman, you see. And it is interesting because it actually came from a family. I'm not going to tell you anymore. Just, if you go to the home page now, the main page will be up for another 5 hours or so, okay, for you to see that, to watch that, and see if it doesn't give you something to think about deeply, touch your heart deeply, along with the other, presentations on there. All right. And I shared all of this with you to let you know that, yes, I had already planned, as some of you know, this is the way this Monday was going to go, because there's some other items that I was on, projects that I've been working on behind the scenes as well, that I had planned, I set aside. And it's one of those things that you heard me, or you hear me state often about enjoying the fruits of your labor. And that has to do with, your sustenance, your covering, your recreation, your ability to give gifts and everything else. But let me tell you something else about what the fruits of your labor also means to me personally. It means actually being able to do a job, a project, whether you work with somebody, collaboration, or your own creativity, actually plan it out and do it and accomplish it, you see, to your satisfaction. See, it gives you a great feeling of satisfaction, of accomplishment. That's part of what, I say sometimes personally, what the fruits of your labor is. And that's one of the reasons why, you heard me mention why when I've had different responsibilities where it would call it managerial or supervisory type positions, that I told you that's why I'm not a micromanager. Because when a person just knows, they already got the skills, they already know maybe where you're going with it. It depends on if it has something specific. For example, let's say, just say I was to actually create a play or something. Okay. Now, of course, for that, then I would most likely say, hey, I need you to be this type of character here. And this and that. That doesn't mean that they wouldn't get the ad lib at times. But the whole point is there would most likely be certain scenes where I would end up saying, you got to do it like this. This is the way I need you to do it. You see, but I'm just talking about that in the creative aspect. But in general, as I've stated before, no, I'm just not a micromanager because, it can actually take away from the joy and satisfaction of even the other workers who enjoy their craft, doing their craft and things of that nature. And this is a side note here. Who knows? I think I may just go ahead and post this on the public podcast, because this is something that I wanted to mention that I said that's a very good point that they made. The Flash, has been on its final season. You see, the Flash, the CW, from that CW era, of all those superheroes and I mean, they had a nice little run with the Arrow universe and all of that. And again, nice little run with that. And the Flash seems to be finishing it off here soon, but unless they already did it, I believe. But the whole point is, let me tell you something about the first, is it season 9? The whole point, the first episode that started the final season. Well, with that being said, Flash has lost loved ones in his life, according to the TV series. Okay. That version, because, they got so many different worlds, so many different dimensions and universes, you can always switch from this Earth 1, Earth 23 or what have you, and then just get a different, change, origin, and things of that nature, which those writers have capitalized on big time over the years. With that being said, let me get back to at least the one from CW. I thought was interesting because he was trying, it opens up. Oh, look at me giving spoilers, but I'm trying not to give too much details. It's just, it was a statement that was made in there that I said, I couldn't have wrote it any better myself, where Flash basically, he can time travel. And I mean, with the Speed Force, he's done it quite a bit. He's done it. He's seen a lot, and he's the fastest man alive in the universe. It seems at times until they come up with some other super, villain. But with that being said, he actually had put together something. I don't even want to tell you what it is, but in this item that he put together, it was to basically help him to protect from any future hiccups or what have you, because he already knew where they were going to come. And if he laid it out this way, then they would never come. Bad things wouldn't happen. Nothing but good things would happen. And so the thing about it, though, he was not only living according to that himself, but he wanted others to live according to it too, even his wife. Okay. And the thing about it is, his wife was showing, sighing every time he was talking about this or that, saying, you got to do this, or you don't want to do that. You got to do this, or you don't want to do that, because of the simple fact that, he was just basically telling her whole life, even with things that she didn't even want to know. You see what I'm saying? To stop this from that or what have you. And what happened is, this is getting to the part where I like the writing, where Flash was talking to his wife's father. Okay. He's like a father to him as well. And his father knew what he had put all together. And he basically brought out again that you put this together, you put this thing together so that you all could be together, you see. But the question more is, will she, talking about his wife, will she be happy? Do you get that, perceptive readers? You pay attention to that first episode of The Flash. And I really do. I think it's the final season, unless, who knows, the fans go off or something, start writing or what have you. But see, that's the whole thing. And I said all that because, I was talking about micromanaging. Another reason why I don't micromanage is because of the simple fact that it boils down to, people enjoy themselves when they don't have an overbearing, a person taking their joy away from the experience. And with that being said, this is the last thing I want to state is this. Remember, when you know what your responsibility may be in this area or that area, see what happens sometimes people think that they are in control or in authority in one way, and they're not. And so when they see another person actually exercising that control or authority, then, there may be confusion. So the whole point is, as some people would say, stay in your own lane, and remember, know exactly what your lane is, because sometimes what some persons may find out, the lane that they're claiming or that they want or what have you is still really not their lane at all. And the other person is really just doing their job. This was a James PoeArtistry consultant moment. I want you to know that at least for the rest of the summer, this is the way my Mondays will be going. The special set aside things are just what I'm doing. And so now you're aware, at least for Monday, because, I'm all over the place everywhere the rest of the week and weekend. But the Monday, this is how it will go. So if I was you, I would just look through the website to see what's going on. Take care. Bye-bye.
You
You have just listened to the Perceptive Readers Podcast. Remember, until next time, if you read something that encourages you to improve or enhance your life for the better, it becomes your reality.